Thanks for joining Let It Fly Disc Golf, and in this video we're going to talk about your weight transfer and how it can help you get easier distance. Stay tuned.
Let it fly into the sky, let it glow into the night, let it take flight, just slip away, it'll let you find.
So let's talk about weight transferring. Basically, the basics of this is you want to take your weight from your back leg, transfer it to the front leg so that this way you can get your body off this back leg and allow the disc to come through. So I'm gonna have a couple drills in here that can actually help you feel that. But the reason why this is coming up is because everybody is constantly reaching for where does the power come from. A lot of people have gotten away from weight transfer, lag, this kind of stuff, and I think it really does help when you move slow enough to actually feel it. So the other day we're out here at this specific hole at Cobb. It's hole 14, 232 feet in the short distance, and I was explaining to them about weight transfer and just a couple other things. But what I started noticing is that a lot of the power does come from your weight transfer, and I listened to my brother Sal. He's been on the channel a couple of times, but when we're watching videos, Overthrow, and a whole bunch of other different disc golfer YouTube video content out there, and my brother always comes back and he says, well, they're missing a couple things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He always comes back to weight transferring. What I've noticed is that whenever I do my walk up and I'm actually going for my weight transfer, I thought of it as far as just getting to the front foot, getting off the back foot, and getting a good brace. But I started noticing that there's a slight little difference in just transferring your weight to the front end versus transferring it in a specific way so that this way you can use your legs for the shot. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. So weight transfer is super important. The reason for it is because I can stand here, go to throw, and even though I think I'm not using my arm, I'm keeping my elbow out, all this other stuff, and the disc only goes probably like maybe 200 feet. Now, if I power up with my arm, then that would be arming the disc, and I'm still not utilizing my body, which is a strong and powerful tool, right? So this is what I want you to do, and this is how hopefully you'll feel this. I've done it with a couple other, not to say students, but a couple other disc golfers, and it's a little hard to kind of explain it until you actually feel it. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the video. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers, really close. I've actually finally got some discs put together that we're going to give away in the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a comment, and once we get to that 2,000 subscribers, we'll do a video. All right, so what we're going to be giving away is a Sapphire. I believe this is 158. It's overstable, so some people look at this and go 158, I can turn that over. It should fly pretty well. We also have this one. It's a Abilene 21st annual disc golf tournament. It's got a little stamp on it, but I believe, I can't remember, if I remember who or what this disc is, I will put it on the screen. But or if you know what this disc is, it's very similar to like maybe a Rock 3, but flies really well, and it's an awesome stamp or an awesome disc, right? We also have another one, and I believe it's by the same company. It's a fairway driver, really nice, kind of flat, but it has some gumminess, and so man, I love gummy discs. So this is a really cool one to actually look at. And then my favorite, a Champion T-Bird. When you get into these headwinds, man, nothing better than a disc that is reliable. And check out that stamp, man. Anyways, or die. You also get a hat and one of our new shirts. It's our logo. It's a turtle with wings. He's busting through the chains because that's what we do here on this channel. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so the way this drill works is you're gonna stand up, you're gonna keep your feet probably about shoulder length. You don't wanna go too far because then you won't feel this. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna shift your body to your back leg and then to the front leg. And all you're gonna do is rock, okay? Now, if you're doing this properly, you should see or feel your heels come up, okay? Now, can I do this without picking up my feet? Yes. That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is as I go back, my front foot comes up. As I come forward, my heel comes up. So I'm up, and I'm just swaying left and right. We talked about this because this is important, because if you watch Anthony Barela throw his shots, he is traveling forward. We want that momentum going forward, right? That is the first part of this drill, is just feeling our momentum going forward. But the other important factor is getting on our toes, getting our heels off the ground. Now, once you can do this, look in the mirror, watch yourself, record yourself, whatever. Check and see if you're being very fluid. Now, here's the next part of it. What I want you to do is now we're gonna start turning our body. Okay, I'm not swaying back and forth and then just turning the, okay? We need to go into unison. As I go onto each foot, my body is rotating, okay? Now, this is really important because if you swing your hands out, keep them up here, and what we're trying to do, I believe Josh from Overthrow and them, they talk about this with Twirly Bird, right? 2.0 or something like that. But what I want you to really focus on is, are you doing this, or are you loose enough to the point where your arms can fold in? Try to feel how loose you have to be in order for this to actually happen, okay? So you're swaying back and forth, but then you're starting to turn your body, okay? Now, if you do this and you're fluid enough, look what happens whenever they call it, some people call it crushing the can. Some people talk about it where you're stomping your heel. But with this motion, what you're gonna do is you're going to feel like you're pushing into the ground to adjust your hips. I know a lot of people talk about there's no power into this, but with the weight transfer, and you start to feel how you can get a whipping motion from your lower body. So this is that part where people go, oh, it's lag. You want your lower body to come through first and then your upper body to follow, right? So if you're loose enough, you'll be able to feel this, where you just, it's fast twitch muscles. I'm trying to get to here, but I'm trying to accelerate. So I'm here, and then boom, 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 okay? Now, what's really important about this drill is that when you're practicing this, it's okay to let your arms flare, but if you're trying to use this in a throw, do not collapse this part. This is that part where we talk about, like, you know, pushing your elbow out, protracting your scapula, that kind of stuff. I have a video that talks about it here. You can go and check it out there. So we're still loose enough so that this way we can feel our arms swing. But as you can see, I'm not collapsing my arm in like this. Okay, it's too much. What we're trying to do is maintain this. This allows us to have a natural power pocket. Okay, so I'm swinging, and then all I'm gonna do is speed up this transfer. I'm going from my left to the front, but I'm also swaying and turning. Now, if I do this to the point where I'm not trying to go like this, okay, I'm trying to go like this. And that was the part that I was missing. I've always had really good standstills where I stand here, I aim, I lean back, I come through, and it's usually pretty good. Usually get a good result. My brother, who helps me with the videos and come up with different ideas, he talked about that as well. Why is it that you can do that really well in a standstill, but when it comes to an actual walk-up, you're not getting the same distance? Here's the reason why. When I'm coming through and I go to land on my front foot, even though if my back foot, even though if my weight is on my back foot and I go to transfer, right, I'm missing an extra amount of coil even in my hips. I'm not trying to turn around, but what I'm trying to do is, if you feel that and you go, okay, I can do that, right? Boom, right? Try doing that, but with a walk-up. You'll find out that it's a little harder to actually do, because when you go to your walk-up, you think, okay, my foot's here, I'm not turned too far around, and then I can go. Well, the problem is that if you're not feeling that part first before your arm comes through, then your upper body might travel faster than your hips, okay? So what I started doing was, I do my drill, boom, okay, I feel that, boom, boom. Then I'll take it back and start to wait, okay? That little step helps you when you go to an actual X step and transfer. Now you're in the position that you've been, and then you can come through. So go out to a field, whether it's a field or whether it's a disc golf course, have a decent open. Okay, we got some trees, not that big of a deal, but I want you to find a hole that's not that far. The reason why this is important is because you don't want to throw to the point where you're having to force everything. I'm actually going to put out a video pretty soon about the arm, how to get into the power pocket, but technically how to throw with a noodle arm, and you'll be surprised.
Go out and let it rip. Enjoy your day out in the sun. Join us, we'll have a good time. Win or lose, we always have fun. Let it fly, get to the sky. Let it glow into the night. Let it take flight, just slip away. Here to let you find your way, find your way.
So as you can see, I used a slow throw to just figure it out, to get the actual hips. Then we go through and go slow so we can feel the weight transfer, and then let the lower body come through. What I like to think of it as is my arm is coming through based on what my body is doing. I'm not forcing my arm to come through. This is I'm not gonna lie, this is a little hard to actually feel, but if you focus on the technique and not the actual throw, the throw is gonna happen. Go in. As we power up and as we go out and go, okay, I'm getting good results, now let's power up. You're not gonna see the results because you need to do this as much as you possibly can. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video. I do appreciate everyone who has been watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and believe me, once you get this weight transfer, it's gonna make a big difference in your actual throw. Something that you definitely have to trust, but once you get it down, disc golf becomes easy. Other than that, that's gonna be it for this video. Keep up the good work, get out in the field, and let it fly. Peace.
Let it fly, get to the sky.